Hello everyone, welcome back to the FPL Winners Show. It's me, Ali Jahangir of FPL Guns, and it's our good friend of ours, Gianni Butice. How you doing, Gianni?
I'm well, mate. Good morning. Happy Sunday to you and happy Monday to all those listening on their Monday morning commute to work or whatever. We get loads listening on podcasts. But yeah, hello everyone. Happy double game week. No, it hasn't been so far, has it? Bournemouth and Luton, both in a way disappointing. But they do play each other, and I'm quite excited about that Wednesday night game because I think it's gonna have goals. Which for many that have gone Solanke and Morris, Barkley, whatever maybe we're going to get some points. But yeah, how you doing, mate? How was yesterday for you?
But yesterday was alright for me because even despite I'm taking a -8 hit, I think I'm on a slight green arrow because I have Garnacho in my
Nice.
team. So,
Oh, that is a
yeah.
huge win for yesterday. That is a massive win because no one really got point a haul yesterday. So you had Garnacho in your 11 because I saw a few had him benched.
Yeah, I have it in my 11, but I have a lot of players that are well owned and people are still have their in their teams, and we'll get into my team shortly. Do you want to start with my team first and then go on to
Yeah, let's have
yours?
a look. Let's see our so in today's show. I guess we'll do our points to date, but then we're also going to show your bus team, and then we're also going to show a free hit draft. So stay tuned for all of that stuff. So yeah, Ali, kick us off with your team and points to date.
So I'm basically on 21 points with -8. I've taken out Foden, Haaland, and Turner
Oh,
in goal because I didn't like the fixture for Dubravka. So I took a -8 and I brought in Morris and I captained him for Haaland. I brought in Barkley because I just like the way he plays and I think he's just making this Luton side is so much better. And I have Kaminski in goal who turned out to concede but still ended up with 3 points.
nice.
So Garnacho in my team with 2 assists for the goals. I mean, he was fouled twice in the penalty area, and luckily the penalties were converted by Bruno and Rashford. Other than that, Barkley blanked, Morris blanked. I'm glad I don't have Solanke because he just scored zero because of missing the penalty. So I had to
Yeah.
go. Yeah, I had to go against the grain again, and uh, Arsenal didn't keep a clean sheet. So Gabriel with a yellow was just 1 point. Saka was really good in a game, but didn't really return any points. So I have a couple of players to, you know, count on. Son, Palmer. I think Palmer is going to have a good game against Newcastle. Watkins is still yet to play. That's the game we're looking for. There's a lot of good games today, actually, even for the
Yeah.
neutrals. So talking about yesterday's games, they were alright as well. So you can't complain when you have goals in every other fixtures there. And you want to start with Manchester?
Yeah, I guess we should. Guess we should. I mean, they didn't play well at all, but they never do. United, Paul Scholes said on TV the other day, a really good quote. He said, Man United are the only team, let me get this right. He said they're the only team that can win 5-0 but still get battered. Like, it's so true. Man United are a team that can go and score goals and win games with a comfortable looking score line, but still get battered. I'm not saying Everton battered Man United, right? I'm not saying that at all. Like, United probably deserve to win, fine. But they are a team that will play badly and win games. And they play off good moments because they have elite players who can win you football matches. There is no identity there. No one can tell you how Man United and Ten Hag sets up his team, really. Like, there's no patterns of play, there's no consistency. It's relying on good moments. Now, yesterday that came in the form of penalties, but in the past we've seen it Garnacho worldies or Rashford worldies or whatever. They are moments ball. That's the game plan. It has been the game plan since Ferguson left, to be quite honest. They've had no identity under a fair few managers. And I include Mourinho, Moyes, Ragnick, Van Gaal. Like, really, there wasn't much going in terms of patterns of play or consistency. It's just relying on good players to do good things. And unfortunately, that won't win you titles or win you trophies.
That's exactly what it is. They have been missing the system, certain system, style of play, and you don't know what to expect from them. With
Yeah.
Garnacho as a, he's a very,
Great pick.
yeah, he's a good pick. He's done well for me because for the price he is on, I mean, I can't really complain. And a lot of people have him as a bench player and don't usually play him often, and
Yeah.
they end up having points jammed on their bench. But looking at Manchester United, it's just you never know what to expect from them. Clean sheets are there. If you look at clean sheets and their goal difference, it's illogical because their goal difference is really low. It's around, I think it was 1 or 2 goals last game week,
Yeah.
but they somehow managed to keep enough clean sheets there. So with Everton, I think they've been really poor last couple of game weeks, and so they've done well in during the Christmas time. I think they've kept a lot of clean sheets, but I don't think it's likely going forward. So when you let's go to the next game with Bournemouth and Sheffield United. That a lot of people have attacking assets, defensive assets from Bournemouth. Like a lot of people, Solanke, Captain Solanke. A lot of people have their defenders, even Neto in goal. So this fixture was basically I had to go against it. You know my
Yeah.
stance on
Yeah, because you're
the
not free hitting 29. So buying Bournemouth was pointless for you.
yeah.
It was all about buying Luton, right? So you didn't buy Bournemouth, and the result really worked out for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I couldn't really go without any double game week players, so I had to go with Luton because I don't think a
Yeah.
lot went with Morris or Barkley, so I had to play it different. But
You needed
Solanke,
you needed a Solanke blank and a
yeah,
Sheffield United goal. And you got both those things. Like not only a blank, you got a penalty miss, and not only one Sheffield United goal, you got two. So it couldn't
yeah,
have gone any better, really.
absolutely. And one Solanke goal was cancelled by VAR. Uh,
Yeah.
all of my friends that captained Solanke, they were just killing me with the with the text because they're like, "Oh, you started your voodoo thing again. You're going against the players like Solanke and their defense, and they concede right, in the beginning of the game. Solanke misses a penalty, VAR cancels his goal, and it's all that. But it was a funny day yesterday. So, luckily for me, they didn't do much.
Loads triple captain Solanke as well. So unfortunate for those that went there. Just remember, guys, this double game week ain't over. And Solanke versus Luton at the Vitality, we already know from game week whatever when Lockyer went down and the game was postponed. After an hour, Solanke had scored a goal and was on all 3 bonus points. So he's got form, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Solanke points versus Luton. I mean, Ali, Luton Palace yesterday, you'll take a 1-1. Like you probably never really expected Luton clean sheet. The beauty of going both Neto and Kaminsky is they don't need clean sheets to get points because they're busy goalkeepers and they will get you save points. So I think, very easily Kaminsky and Neto will finish the game week on 6 points each. That's a good return for a goalkeeper. Yet the Bournemouth and Luton defenders could finish on 2 points over a double. So yeah, your decisions to go big on Luton attack and Morris captaincy could also pay off. So I guess that Luton Bournemouth game is huge. You need Morris to outscore Solanke.
Definitely, in order to get it some ground, to gain some ground, I think I'll need captaincy points there,
Yeah.
and most of the Bournemouth players blank, as well as City having a bad game today.
Oh yeah, of course.
I've gotten rid of Foden and Holland. Of course, they're well owned, very well owned, and it was a risk, but I had to make a decision there because you can't really sit on the fence there. And
Mm.
if when Liverpool plays City at home, of course, it's always good for goals. And Foden likes to score at Anfield. I know that as well. A lot of people benched him. I think you've benched him as well, right?
I have. I've benched him. Had to bench Foden, Palmer, or De Bruyne. I couldn't bench any others, and I'm going De Bruyne to get more points than Foden. I love Foden as an FPL pick. I don't think there's much between it. In fact, I think there's so little between it that I just went for the lower owned pick in my 11. I went, they both might get 6 points, but if I think they've got equal chance of getting a return, go for the lower owned pick because that's going to get you bigger gains if he does go and bang. So yeah, I've gone for the very hot, red hot form of Foden on my bench.
Yeah, it's if one or both score points, my rank is going to get murdered. It's
Yeah,
just
and Haaland, of course. I mean,
yeah,
Haaland. This is a very rare game week where Haaland is actually under 100% EO. He's still very close to 100%, but obviously very few have captained him this game week. So yeah, you need a good Liverpool performance this week. Um, yeah, yeah, I can see my team here. Like I'm on a small green. Ali, I was on a bit of a green just because I didn't take a hit. Like I've not had returns to many of my guys, but I didn't take a hit. So straight away it was like, oh, nice little green arrow. And then I had a couple of save points from Neto or a save point from Neto, or yeah, no, two. And then yeah, singles and doubles. But for me, Man City could be huge. Like so many have sold Haaland, so many have sold Foden, or a few like me have benched him. But the big one is De Bruyne. We can see there he's like something like 6% EO in the top 10K. Like if De Bruyne bangs, I'm going to get massive greens. So it's all on De Bruyne ball for me.
yeah. You do have a good differential in him. In my case, when I look at the double game week players, I look at their stats, not only stats but the consecutive games. I'm looking at their run of games and watching if they've scored in consecutive games. Let's say a 6 point and 5 points, and then they're never these kind of teams like Luton or Bournemouth. Bournemouth has been consistent for a short period of time after New Year's, but
Hmm.
most of the time they're just not consistent. So for me, it's just they're just having a regular game week. As if you're looking at Arsenal, Chelsea, or City game, because back to back for Bournemouth is just most of their assets is. I mean, despite of the players that scored, most of their assets just blanked, and it's just a single game week for them at the moment, and it's still a good fixture, of course, against Luton next. I think it's Thursday or Wednesday.
Yeah, I think it's Wednesday night. Yeah, annoyingly, it's not on TV in England.
Yeah, but it's just I think because of the European games, and so
Yeah,
it just I have picked Luton players just for the sake of having some fun in this game week because selling Holland and most owned one of the most owned midfielders like Foden is always fun. Looking at your team, I mean you've captained Solanke. I know it's painful and I've gone completely different way, but you still have. I think Son is going to have a good game. He's well
yeah.
owned. Holland, I think, is always good for one or two goals. I mean, Foden can really punish you, but I
Yeah, he can. His EO is around my rank, something like 65, 70%. So again, like that can really
yeah
punish. And I knew by going De Bruyne, it's a big, big risk. But I'm all right with that. And Son, as you say, versus Villa's high line, Son was caught offside a couple of times versus Villa early in the season. Like no team plays that higher defensive line, right? And no player likes to gallop into space from a ball over the top more than Son. So the combination between Son and Aston Villa, I think, is really interesting. Um,
he was a good captaincy option, but I don't think in a double game week a lot of people will go for a single game weeker. I mean, it's a
yeah,
match made in heaven. Son against Villa defense Highline. It's just
should be.
just a good fixture for them.
Hey Ali, Bobby in the chat makes a fair point. He says he disagrees with Gianni. If it's equal ownership, if it's equal in terms of the results of two players or the prediction of two players, Foden and De Bruyne, then you should pick the higher EO player. Bobby, we play FPL very differently, my friend. I completely respect your opinion, and that is absolutely fine. If you think the results of two players are going to be the same, they're both going to get six, whatever, then you pick the higher EO. That's a defensive play from you, I think. It's fair to say. I would go, no, pick the lower EO player, and then you have it's higher risk, but also higher reward. So I think that just comes down to an approach thing. Many go for defensive FPL moves. I like to, where I can, try and gain an attacking aggressive move. Ali won FPL by backing against high EO players, Ali. So I don't even think I need to ask you which one you do out of the two.
Yeah, I'll definitely go with De Bruyne. Um, they were both benched against the Copenhagen in the midweek, and
Yeah, neither came on either.
so you
Yeah.
couldn't really predict their expected minutes. But
Yeah.
again, there's not much between them. Foden is on red hot form.
Yeah. He's
I
great.
I think Kevin De Bruyne got his rest in most of the games. I think he didn't get as many minutes as Foden did in last 4 or 5 games. So I expect De Bruyne to be fresh and ready for it and fired up because he's a big game player for City, and he always turns up in the games against Arsenal, against Liverpool.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an interesting game. So can't. And as an Arsenal fan, I know we just got 3 points yesterday, and I'm looking forward to a good draw. So,
Ali, I think when we get to game week 31 and Arsenal have good fixtures, I think it's Luton, and then it's a good run. If you don't have triple Arsenal or you're wild carding, Kai Havertz is going to be on people's agenda now, isn't he? He's got. I know Jesus is back, and he'll probably play in the midfield three. But even when he's playing in the midfield three, because he gives Arsenal a different approach, he gives Arsenal an aerial presence. They can start crossing the ball, and he can go and make late runs into the box, and he is good in the air. What is it, 4 in 4 for Havertz now? Like, I genuinely think we probably need to consider him.
yeah, he's got 4 goals and 2 assists in his last 4 games. So he's definitely up there. But the frustrating thing about Havertz is just he's missing too many chances. In order to score one, he's missing 2 sitters.
And he always will. He always will.
Like yesterday, he got a winner, and but the amount of chances he missed again, like he's missed 2 really good chances. But he does that every game. But for a midfielder, a classified midfielder who plays out of position and as a false number 9, I think is a good option.
Yeah. Let's then move away from my team, Ali, and talk about the free hit 29. We're here to forward plan. We'll see your bus team as well. Which one do you want to show first? Your bus team. And guys, by the way, please do hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Subscribes and likes would be very, very welcome this morning. Also, check out the Fantasy Football Scout members area. If you haven't already, it's all the free stuff you get on Scout is definitely worth a read and worth a look. If you want to go above and beyond and look at data and stuff, check out the members area. It doesn't cost much. Kick us off, Ali, with bus team or free hit draft.
Yeah, I went with the bus team first.
Nice.
I've been planning for not free hitting in game 29. So my transfers were really accordingly towards the players that have a fixture in game 29. So I have currently it's Kaminsky in goal. Taylor has a good fixture against Brentford at home. It's a home fixture. The outside chance of a clean sheet there, maybe a dodgy assist or something. I think Burnley has been they've been really unlucky in recent games. They should have scored a lot more.
Yeah.
Alex Moreno, I don't expect many clean sheets out of 4 games. I think we should just aim for good upside defenders who has a potential of an assist or maybe you can't really predict bullet headers or center back goals, but I think attacking defenders like Alex Moreno, maybe Pedro Porro, who are sometimes on set pieces and fairly attacking. I have Reguilon, who missed the game against Arsenal. I think he has a hamstring injury, but outside chance of coming back before the game against Burnley. So I'm set up 4-3-3 at the moment. I have Son,
4-2-3.
Yeah, I have Son, Barkley.
10 players, though. You've done well. This is good planning, Ali. This is before a transfer. You've got 10 players, right? So Son, Barkley, and then the front three of Tony, Watkins, Morris. Looking good.
So I have to make another transfer. I think it's most likely will be Maddison if he's fit and he does well today. Maddison is on my watch list. Maybe Bailey, but I like Maddison more. So it will most likely be Garnacho making a way for Maddison. I don't want to get rid of Garnacho because he's a good 8 attacker.
Yeah.
But again, other options are Palmer and Saka, which I really don't want to get rid of. So it's most likely Garnacho. And my 8th attacker will be Barkley for the next couple of game weeks before I wildcard. So
I like that, Ali.
And I like that plan. I'm planning to bring Salah back in my team. So I'll be having him against Brighton at home in game of 30.
Ooh, you'll be leaving enough money for that in one move, will you?
Oh yeah, I have enough money. I have around 12 million in the bank, I believe, or something. So that's because I've sold Haaland and brought in Morris. So my straight transfer would be, I think, Salah in game of 30. So I'm well set up for that.
So
This is
today's football is really important because you're going to be watching Bailey, you're going to be watching Madison, you're going to have your eye on Jared Bowen. If he catches the eye again, maybe he becomes that extra midfielder. So you're flexible on who you go. But with that 10 players already, you're really well set. Have you thought about captaincy? Like it's a really tough one to predict captaincy. I think a lot. If Tony had scored against Arsenal yesterday, I think a lot would be looking at Tony. And the fact he didn't score should be irrelevant for me. Like he could have scored, he played well. I think Brentford score at Burnley. I think Tony Watkins will be the two popular captaincy picks next week.
what about Son? Do you
Oh, sorry,
think?
and Son. I can't forget Son and Son. If Son scores today, yeah. If Son blanks today, maybe it will be Watkins, Tony, Son three-way split. I don't know.
Yeah, captaincy decision this game week is the difference. So it will make a difference because it will be
Yeah.
mostly. I don't think the average points will be high. So people who have free hit this game week, they will be maybe in 30s or 40s. So it's just for fixtures.
Yeah.
If they're not high scoring, I think we're looking at around 30 to 40 points. If you over 30 points, I think you've done well. But the captaincy decision will be really interesting, and I'm leaning towards Son. But let's see how he performs today. Um, the Tony and Watkins are really good as well. Maybe Bowen, but it's again you have to take into consideration that it's just for fixtures there, and there's not much to choose between. There's a lot of players, interesting players to captain, so it will be interesting.
What's really, really good about Game Week 29 is if you're only getting 7 or 8 players out, but you pick the right captain, you could massively outperform the free hitters. You really could.
Absolutely.
Like you could get 7 players and captain Tony, who bangs, versus a free hit team that captains Son, who blanks. And you almost certainly outperform them. Like there's the difference, the 3, 4 extra players the free hitters have, I don't think are gonna make more than 10, 15 extra points because we're not talking about elite teams playing in Blank Game Week 29. We're talking about a lot of average teams playing in 29. And with that, you would expect a fairly low ceiling. And that's always been the thing about Free Hit 29. Does it come with a lower ceiling? So captaincy is going to be so, so key. In a way, for someone that's not free, for someone that is free hit in 29, I want it to be, I don't want captaincy to be the difference. I want those extra players to be the difference. Therefore, I want everyone to captain the same player. I want a template captain. And if Sonny does well today and scores a couple today, the world and their dog will all captain Son next week. That's just how FPL works, rightly or wrongly. No, especially if Watkins blanks, they'll go Tony blanked, Watkins blanked, maybe Bowen blanked. Son scored. He's got the good fixture. Let's go, Son. He's the premium player, whatever. I hope that happens. I want it to be a template captaincy pick next week. Ali, you've done a free hit draft, and you're absolutely right to go. All free hit drafts should have a back three. Predicting clean sheets next week is going to be so, so hard. And you've picked 3 upside defenders in Doughty, Moreno, and Porro. And then it will just come down to how do you want your 7 attackers? Do you want 3 strikers or 5 midfielders?
It depends on the performances of today. So
Yeah, it does.
because there's Kudus out there that I think is a good option as well. So I wouldn't mind having
Yeah.
him. But I wanted to have someone from Forest because of the leaky Luton defense. So I have Gibbs White there. It could easily be Avonia up front, but I'm not sure about his minutes. I think the Nuno, I think, starting to get Origi back in the team, just integrating in his 11. I'm not sure if Avonia is has been in good form lately. So
No.
Anthony Alanga is an option as well. So he's a good differential there. So Gibbs White could be maybe Kudus from West Ham, maybe Anthony Alanga, maybe Barkley from Luton. So
Yeah.
it's a spot for a good differential in my. So I think Bailey will be in most of the free hit teams. Bowen as well. Son, Watkins, and Tony are 2 default strikers out there. Maybe if you go for 3 forwards, I think there are some options like Morris. There are Avani is one of them as well.
Mm.
And maybe from Spurs, you would rather go what's the I forgot his name. The
Yeah, you might go Kulu, you might go Dogi, you might go Werner if he catches the eye
Werner.
today.
Yeah, I
We're
was.
gonna be so swingy. We're gonna be so reactive to the football today. And today we've got Aston Villa, West Ham, Spurs all in action. So we're gonna be really Forest.
Yeah, Werner is
I
a good
think we're gonna be
is a good
reactionary.
option for a free hit as well. So if you wanna triple up on Spurs but don't want to take two midfield spots, Werner is classified as
Yeah.
a striker. So he could be one of
Yes.
the strikers, and why not? He's a good option as well. So this is my
Mhm.
free hit team. I have Leno in goal. I think he's one of the best goalkeepers this season in terms of the save points. He's been absolutely
Yeah.
brilliant in the beginning of the season, and Fulham has been on good form lately. They've lost to Wolves yesterday, but other than that, I think they've had a good run of games. If I don't expect many clean sheets, so it's one of the goalkeepers that get a lot of save points, and I think against Spurs, he has a who create a lot of chances. I think they will be shooting a lot, and it's a good opportunity to get save points for Leno there.
Yeah, 100%. I think goalkeeper points you go for. You don't pick the goalkeeper that you no goalkeeper next week comes with assurance of a clean sheet. So you're going to be picking a goalkeeper that you think can be busy. I might even go for someone like Forster. Is it Forster? What's his name? I forgot his name. Mind blank at Burnley. It's Forrester. I can't remember. The Burnley goalkeeper, the England under 21 guy.
Trafford,
Trafford. Where
yeah.
did I get Forrester from? Um, yeah, Trafford. I might go Trafford, but I'll also be going Tony, and that, in a way, it feels like a defensive play. Um, so yeah, I like that. And at the back, you absolutely go for the full backs that you think will get goals or assists. And Porro, Moreno, and Doughty, definitely three of well, probably the top three. Adogi might come into the mix if Matty Cash catches the eye today. Although I'd expect Aston Villa at the moment are playing almost with three centre backs on one wing back. So it's either when Cash plays, it'll either be Cash or Moreno or Dean. But Moreno for me would be the favourite there too. So yeah, I like that. And then the midfield alley, Bowen, Bailey, Gibbs, White. They're the three, I guess, people. I think Bowen will be fairly template. Give us your take on Nottingham Forest mids. Gibbs White comes with a bit of penalty appeal, 90-minute guarantee, but Alanga and Hudson Odoi are that little bit further up the pitch, so they could catch the eye too, right?
Yeah, they're basically players in form at the moment for Forest, but I don't like the conversion rate of
Yeah, it's bad.
Hudson Odoi. He's wasteful with his chances. Whether Elangi is much better than Hudson Odoi. Gibbs White, he's essential for that attack. He was playing in a number 10 position, and he's in most of the set pieces, I believe.
No.
He doesn't score often, but he's crucial to that. I think that it might be the game he scores, but Anthony Elanga is a good option as well there. So he's getting chances. Even I think against what was their last game? I think they've played Luton. No, they've
Who did they play? Was it Arsenal? No.
Forest. I forgot
No,
who
it
they
was
played.
Liverpool. It
It
was
was
Liverpool,
Liverpool.
and he
Yes.
played Origi on the right and Elanga down the middle, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, it was. They had enough chances to win that game.
They
Like,
did. A 97th minute or 9th minute winner from Darwin. That could have gone either way, that football
I
match.
will.
Forest are playing well.
Yeah, they're playing well. I mean, they've played really good, like fearless football against Liverpool, and they had sitters to score. They was somehow missed. Elanga was amongst the players that had really big chances. They were unfortunate to lose that game in the end, and I think having one or two players against Luton in a blank game week, I think is a good idea. So
Yeah, I like that. Chad asks in the chat, do we hit the free hit button now? If you are gonna free hit in game week 29, there's actually no need to hit the button now. Because money isn't an issue. Ali's put this draft together with a ton of money in the bank. Like there is no way you're going to spend all your money because the 8 teams playing don't come with players with high. I don't think there is a way possible of hitting the 100 million target budget. So, or whatever your team value is. So with that in mind, I'm not hitting the free hit button just in case. You never know. Like it's so unlikely that anything would happen. I don't know what would happen. It would have to be something completely wacky. But if something happened which meant Premier League football didn't go ahead next weekend or whatever, remember when the Queen died? Yeah, I'm not saying anything's going to happen with the Royals, but just hold fire and hit that button on Friday or Saturday. Unless you're worried you're going to forget, hit it now. But if you're not going to forget and you're engaged with FPL every hour of every day, as I am, then hit it later in the week.
Yeah, maybe some of the players that you'd like to bring in your team that get maybe, let's say, but with free hit, there's no point of planning anything. You're a bit relaxed with it. But sometimes when your free hit draft is not there, you might want to reconsider the decision to because of the lower upside. Let's say Son and Madison or maybe Watkins get injured, and you don't want to waste your free hit for mediocre players that are not there usually and they're not in
True.
form. So but there's an argument, but I don't think that's the case this time. So I think it's if you decided to go with a free hit, it's a good idea. It's a good time
Yeah,
to
I've got
use it.
like 3 or 4 players. I think I've got like 3 players, so I'm definitely using it.
Yeah.
I'm only not using it if Premier League football got cancelled or something. But yeah,
One thing
I'm
about
fairly comfortable.
yeah, one thing about using free hit in a blank game week, you are sure that there are not single game week players, or sometimes when you use it in a double game week, there are decent options, but only have one fixture, and they have using a free hit there. You're probably maximizing the number of fixtures, and you
Yeah.
leave alone the players like let's say Saka who has a good fixture, but only one fixture. And in this case, you are sure that there are no fixture, and you can easily be confident that you're not missing any good players.
Yeah, 100%. Guys, that's been a load of fun going through these drafts. I am going to later on, if anyone fancies it, off the back of today's games, I'm going to react to them and put together my free hit watch list and my first draft. And I'll also talk about Ali's draft. So I'm going to do that on my channel as soon as the Man City game is over. So in England, that'll be like 5:45 UK time. So if you fancy coming to join me, then do. You can set a reminder on my channel. Also, make sure you go check out Ali on Twitter at FPL Guns. Ali won FPL last year playing proper differently. This season's not going your way, Ali, but you're getting green arrows. And I think with your different chip strategy, you'll probably end up getting big gains. So you're probably planning a free hit around a double game week later in the season, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's not now. Sorry about my toddler. She's right in the other room, but she's too loud. Sorry about that. I'll be planning my free hit and wild card. I think after game week 30. In my case, it just I can have fun. I know I'm not winning it again. I know I'm not anywhere near close to top. Let's say top 10K or top 50K even. So it's unrealistic at the moment, but and it's time to have fun with it. So in my case, I'll be in our Sunday streams. I'll be maybe coming up with wildcard drafts if it's on agenda or on a Twitter, on X community, FPL community. I think it's important for people to see different drafts and different approaches when they're making their own decisions. So I'll be coming up with my own drafts, even if I don't do it. I mean, it's the game, it's the time of the FPL season, the Premier League season that really interesting with double game weeks,
Yeah.
small double game weeks, blank game weeks. Definitely different than in to the beginning of the season. So it's fun times.
Yeah, 100%. I'm with you there. Guys, thank you so much for watching on your way out. Hit the like button. Go follow Ali on Twitter. Go follow me on YouTube. I'll hopefully see some of you in the chat later at 5:45 p.m. UK time. Tonight on my channel, there's loads of content on Fantasy Football Scout throughout the week. I think Scoutcast will be Monday night. You'll see various free hit drafts there. There'll be loads of stuff. So stay tuned on Scout during the week as well. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And we will see you, as always, next Sunday. Take care, guys. Bye bye.